Before I go any further into this video, I just want to say real quick that this video is not scripted at all, so you will hear me stutter quite a bit, but also I thought that this video would be better made if I didn't script it, because I would be speaking from my mind and what I genuinely think of the art community and how it has evolved from 2014 up until now, because I feel like now that we're in 2026, we're still early into the new year. I feel like we could do better as artists in this community and make it what it used to be back 10 years ago, even if it's hard, because a lot of people just accepted the way it is now. I have written down a few bullet points as to what I will be talking about in this video, but that's really about it. I don't have paragraphs to read off of. I will just be speaking from the heart. As someone who has been watching this community since 2015 but didn't join until 2018, because as someone who was born in 2007, I was way too young to be online during the peak era of the online space. So you won't be getting any OG artist opinions or memories from me. You would have better luck getting those from someone who has been in this community far longer than I have been. But I have been in this community since 2018, and I do have my own thoughts to share. But also, I feel like this video does deserve to be made, especially since the art community, as well as other communities, have a ton of issues that need to be addressed, besides from just AI being an issue. So I won't be putting everything right here into the intro. I'm just giving you guys a little heads up from what to expect from me moving forward in this video. Because don't expect me to know every nook and cranny of this community, even though I have been watching it since I was in 2nd grade. But at the same time, I have to be addressing some things that I feel like we as artists need to do in order to make a change in this community that people say that needs to be burned to the ground. If we look at the art community back in, like, let's say 2014, people can say that back then things were tame compared to now. Yes, like, from 2014 to 2017, we had Undertale, Human Bill Cipher, Baldi's Basics, Bendy and Ink Machine, Five Nights at Freddy's, like, just destroying the internet, because those were the main things that were like the peak of every artist on the internet, especially on Tumblr and DeviantArt. I remember watching so many Five Nights at Freddy's animations, and also seeing Human Bill Cipher in those slideshow AMV tributes on YouTube. While I wasn't in the community myself at the time, I still remember seeing those being the shit back in the day, like back 10 years ago. Yeah, people can say that we were cringe, but also we were happy. We were more free on the internet. And if you look at the internet now, being cringe is like a crime. You can't even be cringe on the internet, even if you're a kid. I remember when I was like 12 or 13 on the internet and I was being cringe, no one said shit to me. Other than like a few assholes who just decide to be assholes towards me for no reason, because, you know, let's bully someone for being cringe when they were literally the same age as me. But 2015, like, DeviantArt, Tumblr, social media. I remember the creepypasta fandom being somewhat wild, but they were also kind of tame in a way. Like, they weren't going too crazy if you think about it. Like, yeah, there were some weird OCs being made, but like, I don't remember a lot, but I remember those communities that I just mentioned being like the peak era of DeviantArt, Tumblr, fucking YouTube, animation memes. Eddsworld? Fuck. Yeah, I also watched Eddsworld, but wow. So, the art community back then, it was a lot happier. The internet was a lot happier. And if you look at it now, it's like being cringe is seen as a crime. You can't be a child and be cringe on the internet anymore because there's this new standard that is placed upon everyone, even those who were like 13, 14. I remember like just being cringe with my friends on DeviantArt before the Eclipse was added. I joined DA in 2018, just months before the Eclipse was added. So I still had the chance to experience the old layout before it became this minimalist corporate bullshit that I just don't think it was really worth it to allow Wix to buy DA. But looking back, my god, have we changed as a community, and not in a good way. Like 10 years ago, you would have a poorly made rant video on you for like an opinion you made, or like just being a fucking dumbass in the animation meme community. But nowadays, it's almost like every week a Google Doc comes out about someone who was like preying on kids on Discord or like on Twitter, maybe. Or like, it's kind of hard to really discuss this. Not because it's a touchy subject, but it's like, it's a clear black and white from what the art community used to be to what it is now. And I think the art community has more problems today than it did 10 years ago. The problem of it being is like groomers and people who just harass others online for no reason. And these are issues that have been happening before, yes, before AI came in, but I feel like it has gotten worse, like, in these past few years than it was 10 years ago. Because if you think about it, how often in 2015 did you hear about someone getting called out for like being a groomer? Most of the time, people would make rant videos on whatever. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you look at like the old Spoctor theory videos, those were the kind of videos that you would be making on someone, or someone be making those videos on you. They were dumb, harmless videos made by children, and those are tame compared to having a Google Doc made on you now about like grooming someone. And don't get me started on the Sans fangirl era. I remember seeing a lot of those videos when I was a child. Thank God I never got into it myself, but like, what happened? It's like, I'm not asking what happened to those kids who became Sans fangirls. I know they were like probably trolling and shit for like shits and giggles, but like, how did we go from being a Sans fangirl for shits and giggles to like calling out anyone for no reason? Like, how did we go from making Sans fangirl killing videos in fucking Flip-A-Clip to making Google Docs almost every week. And how did we go from letting kids be cringe on the internet to adults seeing that as a problem? I would like to say that this could be a new standard that is placed on everyone in the art community, but I feel like it's because those adults who we can call as like the old guards who were probably harassed when they were teens in the art community and then go out of their way to harass other children for doing the same shit they did, but those children didn't get the same flack they did. I don't understand the thought process. I honestly don't. And I feel like the art community in itself has been dying. Like, before, like, let's say 2020, like, before COVID was a thing. Or maybe after COVID, I think we could say that the art community has been dying. Because fan art culture and fandom culture has been sizzling out, and those two were the things that made spaces like Tumblr and DeviantArt the places to go. Like 10 years ago in the art community, like 2015 DeviantArt, fan art culture and fandom culture. I remember seeing a lot of them actually. Mainly, again, like Five Nights at Freddy's, Creepypasta, Baldi's Basics, Ben Yannick Machine, Undertale, Gravity Falls. I remember seeing so much fan art, cosplays, animatics, animation memes. And there's probably more, like there's probably some, like, anime fandoms or whatever that peaked around that time, but I didn't see any because I was on I was on the completely different side of the art community back then. But I feel like fandom and fan art culture is what made the art community back then. And since those two died, it's kind of like artists don't really know what the sole purpose of being in the art community anymore, other than just to make art and share it and just hope someone likes it. Because fuck. It's hard to really think about it, honestly. Back then, posting fan art of like a fandom that peaked or a community that peaked back then was like the way to get attention. That's what really united a lot of people together. Nowadays, if you draw fan art of it and if one little detail is wrong, or like you made a character's skin tone a little lighter or a little darker than it's supposed to be, it's all hell breaks loose. And Twitter is like the place where you would get the most hate for the stupidest thing, honestly. But I have been saying something that does make me smile, and that is that the fandom culture and fan art culture has been making a comeback from like late 2025. So some people have been going back to like doing what they probably used to do like 10 years ago, how they got engagement, how they basically made friends, what got artists together back then. Like, fandom and fan art culture is coming back, and that's what we need, especially in today's social media where algorithms are fucking up every artist because they are just competing with TikTok. And honestly, I think TikTok should be gone. It had a purpose, like, existing when it was still called Musical.ly, but nowadays it does not have a purpose to exist. TikTok needs to go. It honestly needs to go. And then with the whole AI happened, and honestly, it ruined like opportunities for artists for years now. Like f- it's gotten people to lose commissions. I've seen someone's a friend replace them for an AI. People's art gets stolen daily to train AI, which is theft in itself. But I think the AI issue has been talked about enough. But I will mention that laws have been passed down where AI, quote unquote, art cannot be eligible for monetization. So that means everyone who does AI, unfortunately, will not be making money off of it. And that's a win for us artists, because that means that we still have value, like we always had value, but it was beginning to sizzle down when AI started and was seen as like the shit for future art, when now everyone is saying, oh wait, AI is actually bad. Let's start picking up a pencil. I think I what we could do as artists moving forward is bring back like what we did 10 years ago, what made the art community what it was like 10 years ago, is to do what we used to do to make it fun again to post. Make it fun to make art and post it. It we could like I don't know, like we have the option of making art spaces ourselves, but the chances of that are low because not everyone has a budget to hire a coder and make a website that is inspired of like 2015 DeviantArt or Tumblr, where we could relive the part of the DeviantArt or art community era that we long for nowadays. Like, that part is gone. But I think what we could do moving forward as artists in this community is allow those younger than us to be cringe and happy and free like we used to be. Bring back fan art and fandom culture, because those were the things that really reunited us and united us as artists back then. That's how we made friends in those spaces back then. And that's what the art community was. And if we do this together as a group effort, as a community effort, we could bring it back, even if it takes a long time to really bring back what the community used to be. Social media is tough now, yes, but that doesn't really stop us from looking for new alternatives or even creating platforms or websites for artists ourselves. But it's not a really easy process. The art community in itself has gone through a lot of changes. Really, really bad changes. And this is not just on the general art community, this also points at the art commentary community as well. Especially what happened in 2018 with like Hopeless Peaches, Spocter, and now more people who we used to look up to get outed as like they stayed silent for someone or they defended someone they shouldn't, who they knew did bad things, and they saw it with their own eyes in on Discord servers and whatnot. And I think people like me, Gen Z, older Gen Zs, maybe younger millennials or whatever, I think if we put our heads together, look at what happened in the art community since 2014 up until now, maybe earlier than 2014, because YouTube has been around for a long time. If we come together in a way, we could change this community for the better. We are in 2026 now. We've had years to improve. Yet all I have seen is somehow we as human beings have gotten worse. Like, I'm not saying this as everyone, but a large majority of artists have taken they have really taken the wrong path when they're in this community. I have seen like children getting harassed off of platforms, like the Zillakilla situation on TikTok. In 2023 or 2024, I think, there was another child who was bullied by a woman in her 20s for drawing in the jelly style and not drawing all the features. I remember vaguely, I think the whole issue was because she imported like a photo of glasses and some accessories because she couldn't draw the shape correctly, which last time I checked, that was fine for a child to do. And the adult in that situation saw that as her copying her art style. Well, mind you, there are plenty of people who draw in the now hated jelly art style. And she went out of her way and sent some of her followers to harass this kid. And I don't recall if that kid stayed on TikTok for very long. I don't think they did. And I think that's another thing we as artists need to look at and actually come to the conclusion that those people should not be in this community if they are just gonna go out of their way to harass some kid for taking inspiration or like importing a fucking transparent PNG of like an accessory because they couldn't draw it right. Let me remind you, drawing glasses for the first time was not easy. The shapes are weird. So I don't really blame that kid for importing a PNG stock photo of like glasses onto their drawing, because I'm pretty sure we all did that. Even I did that, honestly. But what I want you guys to take away from me rambling here in this mess of a video is that we're in 2026. We have had years to look at what the art community has become and do better from the situations we have seen. Because I see adults older than me, early Gen Zs, go out of their way to just be absolute fucking dickheads for no reason. They claim you would like steal their art when you might have never seen that person or their art before, and they would not listen to a reason, which I find embarrassing as an early adult. We have had all this time to do better, to improve, to just be adults and let kids be kids, but instead we couldn't do that. A majority of adults actually couldn't do that. I myself would allow I would allow kids to look at my art and take inspiration. Like, that's a fucking compliment. That means someone liked what I made and decided, hey, this is actually a good thing to use for an inspiration. I'm just gonna take this like little detail or like the way she shades or whatever. I think that's fine, as long as they're not tracing. But copying something small like the way I do line art, shading, lighting, I don't give a fuck. But apparently, a lot of people, a lot of adults, especially those in their 20s, see that as a fucking issue. And they're little cucks. Honestly. And I know that the art community is not the only community that has these issues. Every community does. But I'm speaking from like an artist's perspective, as someone who is specifically in the art community and who has been here like for years, for a few years now. Honestly. Looking back 10 plus years ago, sometimes I wish the internet could just stay the way it was. Like, I know the internet was not perfect, especially online spaces were not perfect. Like, shit still happened. But comparing, like, 2010's internet to now, 2010 was fucking tame. I'm not sure what you guys grew up watching or seeing on the internet, but from my perspective, I don't think the internet was that bad like it is now. Like, fucking Minecraft music videos, shit, that was peak. Fucking Sonic 99 Rays of FNAF Vine animatics. Yeah, that shit was cringy, but hey, I fucking loved it as a kid. Tony Krynite, fucking Springtrap and Mangle. Fuck yeah, that shit was peak for like 8-year-old me. But I think what we can do from now moving forward, like from 2026 and onward, if you're an artist and watching this, I hope you hear what I'm saying and actually try and make an effort to make this community better. Because from all I've been seeing is that this community has been digging itself into a hole because adults can't be adults. AI is ruining opportunities, even though now people who do AI cannot be making money off of it because of a new law. Thank God. But one thing I wish people would take from this is that the way we experienced the art community, online spaces 10 years ago, we should try and preserve it so it doesn't die, forever, and let the new younger generations also experience it. Because if we found those times fun, then let's make sure that everyone has fun the way we did. Like, yeah, we had fucking Nightcore slideshow fucking YouTube videos. Like, weird fucking FNAF ship wars that were like... My god, I should make a video on fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. My god, that community was wild. And I remember that clearly. But I don't really have much to say anymore. Because other than that, I will just be repeating myself like a broken record. But I hope this video was something. This is why I really don't want to make videos unscripted, because I hate the amount of times I've paused or stuttered and repeated myself. I'm not really good at it, but I'm trying to, because if I do unscripted videos, I sound more genuine than when I have a script. But other than that, I hope this video proved something to someone, maybe? I don't know. I don't know who the fuck could be watching this. I haven't posted in like 40 days. I hope someone fucking found this entertaining. But I hope, like, someone could learn from this, the art community itself, it's been a fucking shitter. But I honestly, even as someone who was born in 2007, who didn't really experience the art community at its peak that much because I was too young, and I joined DeviantArt like in its last few months of the old layout. If my short experience of like the last, like, if I was able to join at the very end of when the art community, animation community, commentary community where they were at their peak, then that really says something. That the early days of the internet were special. Like, they were fun, cringe, yes, but people were more happy. We were more free. And I know social media don't really make it easy for us anymore to be free like we used to be before. But I feel like that really shouldn't stop us from spreading the same joy we used to have all those years ago. I really have nothing much else to say other than that. But it's also quite shameful looking at how people have evolved, like, in the art community, honestly. It's really upsetting to see how adults evolved from, you know, making fun of kids online to going out of their way to harass them. It might not be something new, but it's become more frequent from what I've seen. Anyways, before I ramble on by repeating myself, I will just end the video here. And also, I have redesigned Raka as the art footage in the background shows. I will explain her more, maybe in another video or in a community post, but I will leave that for another time. I am not feeling so great right now, so I really feel inspired now to make a whole video on the communities that I've basically grew up with. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. See you guys next time, whenever that will be.